Hi, everybody. Welcome to Am I the Asshole podcast.
Hello.
I always want to add something new to the beginning, but there's nothing.
I never know what to say in the beginning of a podcast unless you have like a cute sign in and a sign off.
Right.
Other than that, it's just like you just say,
there.
hey guys, like whatever.
Hey, guys. It's Sarah.
Yeah.
I went on a date with someone. I hate him. I beat him to death.
I beat him to death. No, not on the first date. I saved it for number 3.
Save it for 3.
At least.
So I got big news for you. I haven't told you anything. I just got back from old Europe over there.
Old Europe as opposed to New Europe.
New Europe is here. Is New Europe? Yeah, I went over there to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Amsterdam, not a country. That's my level of knowledge going into it. Have you been? What's your Europe experience?
Well, I did go to Paris like earlier December.
Yeah.
Wow, what year is it? In December, which is fun. I studied abroad there too. I went to a few places when I was there, but not Amsterdam.
Well, Amsterdam, I know everyone thinks, oh, Amsterdam, what, Danny? Did you do pot and did you buy a prostitute? And yes, I did do the first one. I did a space brownie. I did half of it, and it was one of the worst experiences of my entire life.
The thing with edibles is like no one ever has just an okay experience. You're either like, it was cool, or you're like, I fucking died and ended up in the ER.
And you'd think I'd learned. It wasn't my first time doing edibles.
Right.
Nope,
Even when
learned.
you said half a brownie, I was like, that seems like a lot.
Yeah. It was actually a red velvet cake, and it cost €10, so it wasn't cheap. And it was actually like pretty good from a food perspective. But I was very paranoid. I was actually convinced that I needed to be at work, and so I was looking up flights to fly home.
No way! Oh my god!
And then I woke up, my girlfriend woke up, and I was like, "Hey, I need to go home because I'm high, and I know now that I need to be at work for a thing." And she said, "If you leave, I'll break up with you." And I was like, "Wow, we just went right for that." And so I didn't leave.
She went nuclear, but
yeah, it worked.
Did she also take the edible?
She did. She fell right asleep. She loved it.
Literally the two edible personalities, I feel like.
Right? And then...
That's so hilarious.
I went to bed at like 4 a.m. I woke up at like 10, and then we were like, we got to go now to the Anne Frank house.
Oh, no.
And I was like, this is going to be a heavy morning. I wasn't not high.
Right.
So
Jesus.
The Anne Frank house is fascinating. Whenever I go to a Holocaust museum, I feel so sad.
That is the intended effect.
Well, I think there's another emotion you could feel, which is anger, right? You could feel rage. And that is what I felt at the Anne Frank house. I don't know why. Something about the personal aspect of it, and also the fact that they were so close. That she was 2 months.
Yeah,
it was
so
2 months.
Close
To
getting liberated, which is so heartbreaking. And I think in her diary, I read it like a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
She basically, she was getting sicker and sicker, and she finally like gives up hope, which she had never done before, and then she died, and then you find out that like, I thought it was weeks, but you're probably right. It was months.
Well, no, they were taken from the house like months before the Germans like surrendered.
Oh, okay. Well, she died in
Bergen-Belsen. Yeah.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
like I think weeks before they were liberated.
Yeah.
The camp. Dark.
Infuriating.
At least you didn't do what Justin Bieber did and be like, love Anne Frank. She would have been a believer.
Oh, God.
Jackass.
I
never forget.
I think Anne Frank would have hated the podcast.
Oh, I'm sure.
She would have hated me. But no, the other detail I loved about it is that the Netherlands, when Germany is like, bomb the Netherlands, and then they're like, hey, we're going to keep bombing you. And the Netherlands went 4 days, and then they're just like, okay, yeah, we surrender. And that was it. And it made me proud to be an American. I was like, because we have an army, and the Netherlands are like, oh, yeah, shit, we don't have, like, guys to fight you or shit. So, like, it's your country now, I guess.
Yeah, they really didn't have the resources to fight back.
But the Netherlands, great. Amsterdam, great city. I was talking about how great it was. Then we went down Anne Frank Lane. I mean, it is a great experience, and they push you toward it a lot. Amsterdam is such a beautiful city. It's made of canals. There are canals everywhere. It's just roads and canals.
Like Venice?
Much cleaner looking than Venice, but I've only
Noted.
seen pictures. Houseboats, right? So it's very odd how the streets actually look because it goes like street, sidewalk, houseboat, canal, houseboat,
No.
street, sidewalk.
No, impossible. How do you navigate that?
There's bridges.
You just hope for the best. Like you
You
need
hope for
Google
the-
Maps that shit.
It's actually a series of semicircles kind of nestled in front of each other like a half an onion.
That's kind of cute. Okay.
And it's just adorable. Everything's 5 stories. It's so clean. Number one craziest thing, I saw one homeless person in 4
Wow.
days. And they were like in a tent. It wasn't like that big. It didn't look.
Right.
They call it roughing it over there because the social welfare systems are so much better that like people aren't homeless. They're just like roughing it.
Damn. All right, moving there. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's
That
heaven
and
on
like
earth.
Sweden and Switzerland. Those people are also fucking happy.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. So, and then there was a glass of milk, just a glass of milk that someone left on a bench, and I
Huh?
couldn't stop thinking about it.
What?
I just
Now I can't stop thinking about it.
right, like I've never seen that in New York City. I've seen horrible things. I've seen a man shit on a train, and I've seen a
Oh,
man, jump in the trash. Everything has to do with the subway. That's crazy. But
Yeah, it does.
I guess I've seen a man at a park covered in pigeons. But I've never seen a grown adult who forgot his glass of milk. Who does
I don't
that?
understand. Did you just get pulled away and you don't need the glass anymore?
Yeah, did you get a call?
You got
Who
a
is
to-go
drinking-
glass?
And it was during the day. It was during the day. Like, who is drinking milk at 4 p.m.?
Ugh, I don't want to know.
I got to go to the meeting. Got to put the milk. I can't bring it back
I'm
home.
so confused. I feel like they must have taken it out of a restaurant. But ordering milk in a restaurant, who's doing that?
Who's doing that?
I don't know.
And so I did bring this up to the tour guide, who is an Australian guy. Who
You're
had-
like, hey, what's up with the milk?
yeah, what's up with the glass of milk? He knew what I was right now.
Oh.
He was an Australian guy, lived there for 10 years, though, so he knew the lay of the land, and I brought up the milk incident, and he goes, I can tell you this, the Dutch eat as a lunch a glass of milk and a cold cheese sandwich. And I don't know. That
I'm a
is
little
the one
disturbed.
mark against Amsterdam.
That is like such no. I'm bringing this up on my true crime podcast because that is a super secret serial killer trait.
Well, the Dutch, they don't really kill anyone. They're a commerce
That's actually
people.
I actually just read this murder book.
Yeah.
That was set, I think, in Amsterdam or like a small town
Sure.
nearby. I'm like 98% sure. And it's so funny because like the scene opens and like this girl is stabbed and the police is like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. And I'm like, we call that Tuesday in America.
Yeah.
This is just a routine stabbing.
Yeah, if no one gets killed, they're like, I can't believe no one got killed.
Yeah.
What's wrong with everyone?
So yeah, they're too nice.
Now, London, I was much less blown away by.
I mean, London is basically just America.
It feels exactly like New York to me.
Yeah.
Now, they do
They
have a
just have
different...
better accents.
Yes, the accents are different. The chains are different, but there are just as many chains.
Yeah.
Pret a Manger, which is in New York, and it's like, how would you describe Pret? I mean, it's better than McDonald's. I'd rather have
Oh yeah,
pretzel
it's
over.
like a decent, fast, casual place.
Yeah, they have
For
like wraps
lunch.
and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, wraps, sandwiches, salads, that type of shit.
They got Pretz across the street from Pretz in London. I mean, they don't stop.
That's lame.
You
could go to Paris and get real food if you really.
That's
and
so
it's not that
true.
far for you guys.
Take the
the
channel.
Eurostar.
The channel.
Oh, is that what they call it?
That's the tunnel, the English Channel tunnel. The
Got
channel.
it. Okay.
Now this is the great part about London. If you live in New York, you should visit London because the tube is worse than the subway.
How?
It is so small.
It is smaller. That's true.
It like the train it might be half the size. It's crazy. Like if you're tall, I'm 5'8", and I was like I could touch the roof easily. Like it's
tiny.
crazy.
It really is
tight.
a tube.
And then the people on the platforms, like the stations are smaller. It's like, listen, there are too many people here. It makes New
That's
York
fair.
seem like rural. It's really crazy down
Wow.
there in the tube.
I feel like the Paris subway or the metro was actually like the same level of dirty / jankiness, but everyone was quiet. It was a dream.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
There's always someone talking.
I think I saw one person do the like, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to bother you, like
Yeah.
routine, but literally one person, I think, in 6 days.
Wow. Bottom line, I'm a big advocate. I know it doesn't need promoting, but world travel, see the world. And because here's the thing. I think if you see the world, you'll stop thinking America is so great and be like, America's got some things going for it.
Well, I already think it's bad, so maybe I shouldn't travel more.
Yeah, or you think the quality of life here is too low? Do you fantasize about living?
I'm just like the general situation right now is pretty bad.
Like America acts as a bad force in the world? Like
That and
Yeah.
our own personal politics are just like,
Right.
whoa, we're on the verge of implosion.
Yeah.
And I think the quality of life is only good for like people like us.
Right.
Not only, but you know.
What do you mean people like
Way
us?
better.
What group?
I don't know, like
people,
white
podcasters?
people who are like well off. Yeah. So yeah, same thing.
Well, that's all the Europe stuff I got. Sarah, what do you got? What's going on with you?
Not that much. I had my live show for my other podcast. It was at
Yeah.
Union Hall.
Awesome.
It was great. We sold it out.
Now, you were anxious a little bit. You don't do live stuff a lot. Did you
I've
enjoy
never
yourself?
done one. Yeah, it was fun. I went to dinner with my parents before, and everyone's like, "Are you nervous? Are you nervous?" And I'm like, "Well, now I am." Like, shut
Right.
up.
Yeah. I'm going to stare at you the whole show. Are
Yeah,
you nervous?
Right? Well, I put my parents in the second row. I didn't want to put them in like the front row.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really fun.
That's cool. Was there anything surprising about the experience? Anything that
Anything
blew you away?
surprising? No, not really.
Did you get a rush when everyone laughed at you?
Oh, a little bit. I feel like I always do that. Like if I'm recording and like my producer laughs when I tell a joke, I'm like, yes, I've done it.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Well, that's fantastic. Everyone give it a listen if you like true crime, not another true crime podcast.
Thank you.
It's a heck of a pod.
It's a heck of a name also.
Speaking of heck of a, we got one heck of an F for you folks today. Our second story of the day, AITA for telling my friend she got an STD from sleeping around. Whoa.
Cringe.
But first, AITA, because I can't stop cheating on my wife. And look, people, it's not a real AITA. I'll just come out and say it.
Yeah.
This is a Dear Prudence letter.
Right.
I stole it from old Dear Prudy.
I love when people are like, "Oh, you stole this," and it's like, first of all, this entire like podcast is quote unquote stolen.
No, actually,
from
no one.
somewhere.
Has somebody ever said it was stolen?
Yeah, when we've done other Dear Prudence ones, they're like, "Oh, you guys ripped this from there," and it's like, yeah, we're
Really?
honest about that fact. We put a link.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't put one if we wanted to obscure it.
And I really note this because I think it's a different psychology of the person who posts on Reddit to get a lot of upvotes with like a fake story or really
Yeah.
or it's not necessarily fake, though it could be fake, but I think it's perfectly plausible, but that it's validation seeking or the reverse, like negative attention seeking, right?
Oh,
Like it's a
totally.
shit post essentially, right? Because this one is so obvious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I guess. First of all, what kind of person reads Dear Prudence? I only got into it because I googled like
That's
advice
so funny.
podcast to like get marketing, and I was like, oh, this exists. I've never heard someone be like, well, you know what Prudence says?
Prudence. Her name's not even really Prudence.
Abby. Now, Abby was the hit. Dear Abby.
Yeah,
we
Abby
all
was
know
a
Dear
classic.
Abby, right?
Yeah.
and it was the same thing, right? Is she dead?
It's
Is
an
she
advice
still
column.
around?
I think Abby gets handed down also through different people. So yeah, her name's not Abby anymore
It's a
either.
brand.
At this point, yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure there was an Abby, but I don't think the woman running it is Abby.
Well, here we go. AITA, because I can't stop cheating on my wife, by Dear Abby. It's actually Abby herself wrote this. I'm a man in my mid-30s with a beautiful wife. We've been married for 15 years and had a great kid. That's really weird. You had a great kid.
Yeah, I feel like he's only okay.
Very early on in our relationship. We both have great careers. Everything's great. Nice friends. A very kinky and active sex life. I roll. Others generally look at us with admiration and envy. Okay. My problem is that I became a serial cheater around 8 years ago. I analyze why I feel the need to cheat. Sex with my wife is definitely better than with other women. And think that I like the challenge of conquering and later the romantic aspects of it. My affairs usually last a few months. I'm also very open with my relationship status and my own willingness to change it to my affair partners. I've never heard that term. Affair partners. Makes it sound downright cute. I even developed great friendships with 2 last affair partners, and the whole experience has generally been extremely enriching and positive for me. Damn, that is bold.
So bold. Also, the friendships. Whatever. We'll circle back.
Yeah, I never fell in love with another woman, and I want to stay with my wife forever, but I can't seem and also don't want to stop seeing other women. My job involves a lot of travel, so it's easy to get away with cheating without arousing suspicion. In the beginning, I didn't really think too hard about it, but going forward, I want to be, quote, square and fair.
Yeah, you
Unquote.
fucked that up.
Square and fair?
I left it as is.
Square and fair? Now that is a serial killer right there.
Right?
What is square and fair?
We don't know.
Sir.
We all know it's fair and then it's square.
Yes,
I don't know
first
why.
fair, then square. I don't know why, but damn it, that's the way it is.
Yep.
My wife doesn't have the slightest idea of my cheating and would obviously be devastated if she found out. A year or so ago, I started talking about opening up our relationship as a way to slowly legalize my behavior. While she isn't totally against the idea, it's more something she can imagine in a distant future and in a very controlled setting. I reckon that the romantic aspects and durations of my affairs would be serious no-goes for her. While the easy answer would be, quote, stop before you blow up your perfect life, unquote, I feel like I'm not really able to. What are your thoughts? AITA.
Oh, my thoughts are this is a sociopath.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is really, lying to himself about what's happening. I mean, there's so much kind of posturing here that just rings as like very disingenuous.
Like how everyone's envious of their marriage.
Yes, others generally look at us with admiration and envy. Like, can you imagine if you were
I
like,
said that
"Hey,
about
Danny,
anything.
how's your sex life?" And I'm like, "Well, Sarah, it's very kinky and active." You'd be like, "Okay, so what's really
And people
happening?"
look at us with envy.
Yeah. You'd be like, so what you're really saying is you have a micro penis and you can't stop crying. Like, it's just
Yep.
ridiculous.
It doesn't make sense because I don't have experience with cheating, but people usually, I imagine, are seeking something. So
Right.
when they do that, so if you seemingly admittedly have it all, then like what are you really like what are you seeking and why? The sex is better with your wife? Like I don't understand.
Well, he does address that, and I think this is a very normal desires. I will say that. He says that he wants to feel like conquering, and he enjoys the romantic aspects of
So
it.
then I'm wondering if your marriage is not all that it's claiming to be. Like, do you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think what blows me away about this, and I think someone says this later, is just like, how is this guy keeping it together?
I don't know.
Right,
I can't lie about anything. He's leading like a million lives.
Exactly. Like, the reason I don't cheat isn't because I don't want to do it. I totally want to do it all the time, but I wouldn't do it because there'd be negative effects that I know would far outweigh the extremely minor positive parts, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing with cheating, right?
right. It's like you have to be in a very short-term mindset, really, to cheat. I mean, and I don't know, this guy, sociopath does seem like a reach to me, but other parts, I'm like, wouldn't any normal person, like, be, like, racked with guilt? I would.
Yeah, I'm also just like, are you really that smart? In this day and age where we have so much technology where like your iPod is synced or your phone is synced to your computer and it's synced to your other shit and like, your tablet. I'm like, has nothing ever come up? And now you're friends with these affair partners. I'm like, what? You're really bringing around like, hey, this is Janine. We met at a bar.
Oh, well,
and
I
now we're
think
best friends.
if he travels a lot,
it's like all
I
these
mean,
things that I'm just like,
yeah.
how are you not leaving some breadcrumbs? Like it can't be a perfect crime is what I'm saying.
I think it could be a perfect crime.
I don't
Sarah.
think so.
Really?
If you have these friends, you're probably texting people, you're talking to them.
I mean, he cools it when he's with her, maybe, and then he goes on the trips.
I
Maybe
don't
maybe he travels like what, monthly? So he's cheating all the time, He's fucking around. He's throwing in a couple texts a day, 5 texts a day, 10 texts someday. Text her when you go to the bath. I mean, you could pull it off. Not that I've thought about every aspect of the logistics.
Oh my God.
No, I mean, look, I think that this guy has a unique ability. I'll say that if he's not a sociopath. But like all his rationalizations are such bullshit because he's truly like distancing himself from his own probably real feelings, which maybe he doesn't have any, but mostly his wife's feelings. Like obviously she would be beyond devastated and betrayed.
Yeah, like duh. This is why I think he's a sociopath. He has no empathy for his wife, who's like one of the 2 people you should have the most empathy for, aside from like your kid.
Right.
I'm ready to go YTS on this.
What's that?
You're the sociopath.
He also says he has a great kid, which I didn't like that. I think that's weird. We've been married for 15 years and had a great kid.
Right. If the kid was like average or problematic, would it be okay? I guess I'm just like, why even bother with this? Like, why would you write this letter? What are you hoping to achieve? Prudence knows what the fuck is up. She's obviously not going to sanction your affairs.
Yeah. I mean, I think going back to like why this person would go to Prudence about this, is this just blatant attention seeking?
I don't think this
fake?
is like real. Yeah. I think it's just like, I don't know, like fantasy porn for some weirdo.
I don't know. I think it's very plausible. A lot. I've personally traveled, and I've traveled. Yes, I have. I mean, I've traveled without my girlfriend on a business trip, and I definitely like had that like come into my mind a lot.
I do
so,
think
like,
it's possible, and I do think it's possible to get away with things for a long period of time. But it's like you clearly don't feel guilt. So, like, why are you writing in? Like, what are you hoping to achieve?
Right.
Except, I guess, maybe bragging in a weird, anonymous way. Like, I just don't get this person.
Karen H. writes, YTFing-A, polyamory is okay, but if that's really what you want, then you need to discuss that with your wife and let her decide if she wants to go down that road with you.
Yeah, the whole, like, opening up the relationship to legalize the behavior, I see that shit all the time on Reddit.
Right.
Some guy will be like, or the women will do this too. They'll be like, hey, I'm thinking about opening my relationship. And the other person is like, oh, why? And it's like, well, I've already had someone in mind. I've been, like, you always find out, like, you've been talking to them and it's like, oh, you just want to cheat with this person and have it be cool.
Right.
Like, you don't really want an open relationship.
Right. Karen goes on, however, from the way this is written, this doesn't sound like a guy truly into poly, mostly from the reference of liking, quote, the challenge of conquering women, unquote. Clearly, you have some effed up views about women. I don't know, Sarah, is that true? Is that an effed up view? I kind of get what he's saying.
It's like more of like the chase. I mean, I think he has some messed up views of relationships in general, so.
I mean, you think I do?
He does.
Well, but do you think this is wrong to like the challenge of conquering women? I mean, I feel like you're a victim to this sometimes, right? Like this is being a victim to fuckboys, essentially, right?
I know what you mean. I think he just like likes the chase and set it in like a weird pickup artisty kind of way.
Yeah, the chase. Well, is that okay to like the chase? And then, you catch what you're looking for, and then, you don't.
I mean, I don't know what his deal is because he does like the chase, but he also keeps seeing them after he's gotten them.
Yeah, that's also weird.
I think he likes the rush of, I don't know what his deal is. He likes the rush of getting a new girlfriend. Basically.
I mean, there's a micro delusion too in the fact of like, I have great friendships with the two last affair partners. It's like,
no,
what?
It's like, no.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Like maybe you watched a few Netflix shows together.
Right. You need to lay everything out, Karen goes on the table and see if she'll support you. If she's more, if so, she's more understanding than I'd ever be. If not, that's your burden to carry. Right. Alexa S writes, not the asshole, a piece of shit.
That's fair. That was the only not
YTS.
The asshole thing that we got was like asshole doesn't even begin to cover it.
James M writes, all right, let's hear this guy out though, which I thought was pretty funny.
I thought that was funny.
Darian asks, whoa, so you're saying that you've been cheating on your wife for 8 years and now you're manipulating her into an open marriage so you don't have to be honest? Yeah, I'd say you're the a-hole.
Yeah, this poor wife. I hope we can go out like internet sleuth and find this person and then warn the wife.
Yeah, seriously.
That would be incredible.
Felicia says, you're risking your wife's health unknowingly. Yeah, I guess so. Guys can transmit diseases. It's a thing.
Yeah.
You're not being honest. She deserves. I don't know why
you
I said
it like that, as if like guys don't usually transmit diseases.
I mean, look, if you're wearing a condom and you're,
you think this guy is using? I don't know. This guy's sketched to the max. I think he's probably not using condoms.
Max, sketch. If you really need to get off by conquering other women, maybe you shouldn't be married. This is why guys in their early 20s should not get married, because you didn't get that fuckboy phase out of your system.
Whoa,
yet.
You said the F word.
And now your poor wife has to suffer.
I mean, we don't know. How old is he? Oh, mid-30s.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is on
Holy
point,
shit,
though.
Wait a second. So that means they've been married since they were 20?
Yeah, there you go.
Or younger?
25.
Wait.
He's mid-30s, so let's say he's 35. They're married 15 years, so that's 20. There you go.
20.
There you go. He married too young. That's
crazy.
I don't know what song that was.
I don't know what that was about either.
It's not a hit.
I mean, it doesn't excuse his behavior, but yikes.
Yeah. I
yikes.
mean, it doesn't excuse it, but it does give insight this guy needs to play the field. Some guys feel the need to play the field. I think most people should play the field. I think playing the field is healthy, folks.
I don't think you should end up with the first person you date.
Exactly.
But it's none of my business if you do.
Right. If you want to do that, but you got to realize you're going to always wonder what it's like to, hook up with someone different and weird. Someone who slaps you and calls you a daddy boy. And
okay.
You're like, daddy boy? How can I be your daddy and your boy? And
Please
they say, don't think about it. Don't think about it so much.
Oh, God.
And you're like, all right, well, take the dog then, damn it. Anyway.
Do a lap.
Sarah wrote, literally, in what world would OP not be TA?
That was back when I thought that this was a AITA thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
No,
I mean,
no.
it is an AI. Well, yeah. I mean, this.
We
I
made
guess
it one.
Well, in a sense, this guy is sort of wondering if he is an asshole.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's like, can I keep doing it? Because I still want to.
Right. It's like, yeah, you can. It's like, I don't that's what I'm saying. I don't understand what this guy wanted. Yes, you can keep doing it. No, it's not going to magically be okay.
Right. Right.
So what do you want? You want to have your cake and eat it too? Prudence will not allow that shit.
Prudence had
neither will we.
I cleaned up Prudence's response. She's a bit wordy. I'm not going to lie, Prudy.
Yep.
She says,
Gets paid
you
by the word.
are a human being with the ability to choose his own actions, not an infidelity robot that's been set to chaos mode. I thought that was a good line.
Chaos mode. I love
She
that.
killed it. Mark S says, yep, YTA, all the rationalization in the world won't change that. When some dude like me is banging your wife, you'll sing a different tune. She deserves to know the truth.
Ooh, I actually liked that comment when I read it because, yeah, I do think that it's easy to not have empathy, and then when that shit happens to you, it's not so cool anymore.
Yeah. You know what, Marcus? You know what the tune that the guy is going to be singing?
Oh, fuck. I got married too young.
He got married too young. Daniel F. posted a Talkspace link, which no one has ever done, as far as I
that's
know. I
great.
thought that was funny.
I mean, this guy needs some massive therapy, but whatever. That's out of my pay grade.
Yeah, this guy's a piece of shit. Nobody likes him, and maybe he's a serial killer. But bottom line is,
I'm afraid. Can we check on those women to see if they're still alive? Those affair partners.
Yeah,
Got to do a wellness check.
I want to have a cheater. I want to have a cheater on the pod and see what kind of shit they say. Like, how do they keep that in their head? I'm fascinated by that. You know?
Yeah. How do they keep their lies straight? I don't know.
Yeah, how do they do it? AITA because I can't stop cheating on my wife. I think we agree. Big fat YTA. Not even a question, folks. AITA for telling my friend she got an STD from sleeping around. Hey, maybe she slept with that guy in the
You're
previous
right.
thing.
See?
Dear Prudy, AITA crossover, folks. By you, one question, throw out one. I was hanging out with a friend of mine and a group of her friends. We were all talking and having drinks, and the topic of dating comes up in conversation.
As it tends to do.
I'm 24. I've only had one boyfriend. We dated for 4 years and broke up about a year ago. I'm mostly a loner. I'm fine with being single right now and have no interest in dating at the moment. My friend knows this. She starts lightly teasing me in front of her friends, pretty much calling me a spinster. What's a spinster, Sarah?
A spinster is like an old single woman.
She dates a lot. Every week she tells me about 2 or so guys that she slept with. This kind of started a pile on where everyone was teasing me and giving me unsolicited advice. I tried to placate it, but she kept bringing the conversation back to me and my lack of a sex life. 3 weeks ago, she called me crying to take her to the clinic because she had a painful, itchy blisters on her groin. Turned out to be the old herpes. Okay, she didn't say the old. I threw it in there. I did it without judging her at the time. She stood up and
You missed the hook.
What?
Eventually, I got really heated and just said, so is your crotch still burning or is that cleared up? What did they say that was? What did they say about that? Was it guy 104 or 105 that gave it to you?
Yikes! How did I miss that?
I don't know. You buried the lead.
I buried the lead. So that was it. She said that after they kept bringing up her sex life?
Yes.
Wow. Was it guy 104 or 105 that gave it to you? Ooh.
We've actually traced it back to patient 87.
She stood up and left. Yeah, it was in Wuhan. She stood up and left the table. I tried to follow her to apologize, and she went off about me outing her to her friends. She said I was the only person she trusted, and she couldn't believe I would act that way. I tried to remind her how she and her friends were dogpiling me, and she said it was just jokes. I didn't have to react that way. We're obviously not speaking right now. Was what I did justifiable self-defense? AITA.
No. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. There's
Usually I think we get like AITA for cheating on my girlfriend. And then it's like, title sounds bad, but hear me out. So I was playing Scrabble the other day. But this is the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was going to be like she calmly kind of insinuated to her friend one-on-one.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like, why did I get herpes? And she's like, well, it's because you...
Yeah, you're engaging in risky behaviors. But no, this bitch went like 0 to 60.
Yeah, I mean, I have a phrase for this, and I've actually had a lot of good conversations about people with this. This is a pattern. I call this weaponizing a confidance.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. That's fucked up.
Yeah, and so, I think the first question is it justifiable? And I think that it's understandable, but not justifiable.
Yeah, I don't think it's justifiable. I think like the root of both things are different. Like I feel like the teasing this person, if anything, like comes from a place of probably jealousy. If you're dating around a lot and you dated someone for 4 years, like that's a compliment.
Right.
And like you're taking a year off, like fucking chill out. Call me when it's been 5 years, right?
Right.
Like I don't think it's not coming from a malicious place.
Well, what, you mean the insults or what's
Them just like teasing her about being like single.
Yeah, I mean, I could see how someone could be a little insecure about it.
Yeah,
you know?
I could see that, but this whole thing is like, yo, way worse.
What they're doing isn't very nice, and it made her feel like stepped on and confused and angry, and that's understandable, but they weren't really violating any kind of a boundary. They were just kind of being jerks for a minute.
Yeah.
So then what she did, weaponizing this confidence, was a violation of trust.
Yeah.
So it's clearly not something that you would want spread around. And then it was used to hurt her specifically. Well, it wasn't just her, right? Because everyone was teasing her.
No, but it was just to shut the friend up so then everybody else would shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I mean, I don't...
Very bad.
I think, like, you shouldn't have to self-defend in front of your friends. You should just be able to say, like, hey, you know, I'm actually insecure about this, so can we stop joking
also, if
about
you're
it?
going to blow up, there are ways to blow up that aren't this. Like, even if she was like, fucking cut it out, you know, and, like, screamed or got loud,
Right.
and then everyone was like, woo, and then they would back off. Like, there are ways to blow up in the moment that are not taking something your friend told you that's extremely sensitive and, like, yeah, just telling a bunch of people who don't need to know. And also low-key slut-shaming her in the process, too.
Yeah, you're right. It is a little bit of a slut shame.
I mean, it's a blatant slut shame. Like, was it guy 104, 105? Like, now you're just actually being a dick. And, like, you might not be exaggerating, but it kind of sounds like you said that too. Exaggerate and slut shame.
Yeah, you're right. That's a high number. Or the number doesn't... No,
It just sounds like when you purposely pick a high number out of the air.
Right.
Like, she wouldn't be like, was it guy number 1 or 2? Like, she clearly went up to 100.
That's Amish slut shaming. Oh, 1 or 2, which one?
Right.
I don't know why they talk that way. Kendall F. writes, YTA, friend or foe, you never give a secret you were trusted with.
I like that.
For the most part, I think that's a pretty good philosophy. I mean, it's hard even if there's someone I don't like, if they've kept my secret, I can hold on to some respect.
Yes.
Bridget D says, everyone sucks here. Please make up so you all don't inflict your terrible versions of friendship on other people. Sydney L. YTA, there's no shame in disclosing your own STI status, but you have no right to make that decision for someone else, especially when it's out of petty spite. Well put.
Yeah, I mean, the OP was injecting this with shame. I don't think the argument here is whether or not that should be shameful. The OP brought it about in a manner to cause shame.
Oh, that's a good point. Even if it wasn't a shameful thing for the person, then yeah.
Which, like, it would be for many people.
The intent, yeah.
Yeah.
Mandy H. writes, YTA, no, you absolutely did not help her without judgment. Every bit of your description shows resentment and judgment. You can get heated and stick up for yourself without hurting other people. Disclosing people's medical issues is very different than discussing publicly known relationship status.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people are touchy about medical stuff. It's personal stuff. Even if it's not sexual, I think I've have friends who have, like, certain conditions, and they don't want me to tell other people. And that's hard for me because I can't stop saying things.
Yeah, I know that.
I've gotten a little better about it.
That's good.
With time.
I just do feel like there is I try to be good about this. I don't know if I am, so let me know if I'm not. But, like, if someone tells me something and I don't know if other people know, I'm not going to go telling them.
That's wise.
I just, try to stay out of it.
Yeah. Jose G says YTA and ESH, a double verdict.
That doesn't...
Very rare.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Only NTA. Jeremy S. writes, NTA, as you are obviously not comfortable with this combo. Sometimes people need to be told the truth in order for them to understand you do not want to be prodded like this anymore, because if you mess with a bull, eventually you'll get the horns, or in this case, herpes.
Yikes.
What? Okay, wait.
There's always those people who are like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, not the asshole. And I feel like we've had this conversation to death.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think people do get confused and not realizing why these things are not the same. So I think it's worth breaking down yet again. And
You
I
think he's confused, or I think people just love like fucking revenge porn, and they just are like, oh, I like that you did this, so like not the asshole. I don't, I don't know if they're thinking critically.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I don't think he's thinking critically. I think when you're confused, you're not thinking critically.
Okay, but I don't know if it's a
what
confusion. I just think it's having like a knee-jerk reaction to like, yeah, you tell him.
Yeah, I agree. Well, if you have enough knee-jerk reactions, you're probably confused. You keep jerking your knees around. What are you doing? Put your legs down, damn it, and listen to me. Yeah, I mean, I just think because look, like he's not wrong in this part. Sometimes people need to be told the truth. It's like, yes,
yeah, but
they did need to be told the truth, and truth was like, hey, you guys are actually bothering me with these jokes.
Yeah, the truth is I'm insecure about this. The truth is not, hey, my friend has a lifelong like illness now.
Right.
Like those are unrelated, kind of.
Absolutely. Reddit's top comment, ugly kitten 2020 for president, please. Everyone sucks here. First, nobody should be harassed for not being sexually active. It's not a badge of honor. Not dating isn't a crime. Your friend sucks. Yeah, I mean, I mean, we agree that light roasting among friends is fine.
That's the thing. It's hard because, like, to me, I would read this as light roasting, and that kind of stuff happens a lot in my friend group. But also, I think these were friends of the friend. So if you don't know someone that well, you got to be easy on the roast.
Absolutely. You got to be nice to someone you don't know. You know?
We say this as if it's controversial.
Yeah.
Be nice to people.
Radical political views. Second, I get why you were mad, but you suck for waiting until you blow up. Someone harassing you, guys, gonna say this only once. My dating life isn't up for debate. You need to stop. I will leave the table each time this convo starts. Then, whenever someone starts, leave physically. If your friends consistently continue this convo despite you not wanting and despite you leaving, they aren't your friends. Make new friends. Yeah, we pretty much said that. It's a good point, though. And sleeping with 100 people isn't what gives you STD. It's having sex with one person with STD and not using protection. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it is true.
You could sleep with 1,000 people and not have an STD.
Or you could literally lose your virginity to someone and get an STD.
Yeah. Or you could, visit the farm and get an STD. I don't know. I'm just saying things. It's okay, Sarah. Look, I think we've covered. I think it's an important thing. This phrase, weaponizing a confidence, because I think it's very common. I think it's a very common trust breach, and I think you got to realize that it's more. It's not just an unfair or like an uneven kind of reaction.
Yeah,
it's a really a toxic. It's a very toxic behavior.
Yeah, I mean, you took something that someone trusted you with, and you confirmed their worst fear and threw it back in their face. Yeah,
and it just puts such a bigger like being too mean to someone is mean. And hurting someone's feelings.
I'm glad you can finally admit this.
Yeah. Well, I'm mean, but but then but you're violating a boundary in a way that is like much more substantial. That's what I'm trying to get at the meat here. Is like you're doing more damage to the relationship than the other person did, right?
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be friends with them either. Fuck it.
Yeah. AITA for telling my friend she got an STD from sleeping around. That's a big fat
YTA.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't really go into why this. Well, why would it be an ESH? Because they were kind of picking on her, but
I guess my whole thing with as we read more of these subs is like most people when they write in, and they're being the asshole or it's an ESH, they're usually like reacting to something, and that thing that they're reacting to is usually someone behaving in a like suboptimal manner.
Yeah.
So I feel like for that reason, every time someone is reactionary, it can't just be an automatic ESH.
Yeah. Well, I think her words prove that it's not an ESH.
Yeah.
She describes it as lightly teasing and a pile-on where everyone was teasing and giving unsolicited advice.
Right.
So it's like,
yeah, it bothered you. And okay, maybe they were being like insensitive, but I'm not ready to go ESH.
They weren't going for blood, It's not like they really threw it at her. And like if they had said, "Well, you're ugly, that's why this is happening." Yeah, that would be horrible.
Yeah, then we'd have an ESH.
Yeah, so not an ESH, big YTA. AITA for being annoyed. Listener submission, guys. This is a listener submission.
Favorite part of the show.
There
Everybody's
we go.
favorite.
You had my back. Hell yeah. I was like, I missed it. AITA for being annoyed. My friend asked for $5. Oh boy, it's a petty party here, people.
Yep.
Sunday night, my friend had a fairly crappy day. Nothing huge or dramatic, but just one of those days. Whoo, I've been there. I was out of town, but wanted to cheer her up, so I Venmoed her $15 so she could buy herself some wine and have a nice night in. Okay. I don't know.
Nice.
Isn't that a little weird?
That's nice to do, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's really sweet.
I guess my relationship with alcohol is clouding my judgment.
Right.
But
I was
to
going
me,
to say,
that
I
just
would
reads
buy
like,
someone, I think she would, this person is saying that they would have bought their friend a bottle of wine, but they were out of town. So,
oh, okay.
So they
That
Venmoed.
makes sense. Because I guess I just kind of read that as like, I don't want to hang out with you, but why don't you get drunk alone, you piece of shit?
No. They were out of town.
I put in the notes of the Venmo that it was to get herself some wine after a crappy day. The next night, I wound up hanging out with her and her roommate. Her roommate ordered dinner and my friend bought wine. So here's where it gets iffy. My friend texted a group chat of the three of us asking for $5 from each of us for the wine. We do this all the time where one of us takes care of dinner and one picks up wine and then we all pay whatever is owed. But it felt like I gave her a bottle of wine as a gift, and then she charged me for a glass of it.
Ugh.
Technically, once I transferred her money, it was hers to do what she wanted with, and maybe she had already used it to treat herself to something else, but I can't help but feeling she's asking me to pay her for something I bought her in the first place. It's only $5, but it's more the principle. AITA.
Iffy.
I actually think there's some meat to each side here.
I totally agree because I'm going to give the person the benefit of the doubt, and like once you give someone the $15, it's theirs to do what they want with it. You didn't give them like a wine club gift card or whatever.
Right.
But like, what are really the odds that this person took the Venmo $15, bought a bottle of wine, bought a separate bottle of wine again the next day?
Of course not.
0, right? Even I don't
No.
drink a whole bottle of wine by myself unless it's Friday. Just
Oh,
kidding.
boy.
No, I don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I mean, I guess, all right, let me break this down. I think the first thing is, if you give someone a gift, you gave them a gift. You don't get a part of the gift. Let me throw this at you. These people don't have a lot of money, and that's making it confusing. I actually feel like this makes it a lot more obvious.
Okay.
Suppose it was $150
Yes.
for a really nice bottle, right?
Okay.
And then someone tried to charge you for drinking out of that bottle.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're fucking crazy,
well,
bro.
I don't think it matters. I think what makes it murky is like technically you gave money and you don't know what they did with the money.
Yeah,
so
but that's technically. I mean, who cares technically? They gave her the bottle of wine. The intent was a bottle of wine.
Right. I mean, it's like if I gave you a bottle of wine, if I brought it to to a party,
Yes.
and then you tried to turn around and charge me for it, I'd obviously be like, what the fuck? I totally see OP's side here.
Okay,
I'm
good.
trying to see the other side because the group response was not with us.
Well,
So
I
I'm
haven't made
kind
up
of-
my mind yet.
Okay,
Slow to roll.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to see the other side of it.
Well, the
which
other
is you gave this person money and they could do whatever they wanted with it, and you don't necessarily know that they
Right.
bought the bottle of wine that they're now charging you for.
Okay, fair enough, but I'm just like, well, who is this friend that they don't have that impulse? Because what the hell?
The impulse of what the hell?
Like, why would I charge Cindy? She just sent me $15. Of course, it's on the house with Cindy.
Right. I mean, I don't
She
know.
just
It's like,
hooked it up.
yeah, everyone's being petty. I also don't like this agreement of like, you pay for dinner and then we all Venmo $5. Like, I prefer the friendships, and maybe this is just because I'm not like I don't know, I have like some money to blow on dumb shit sometimes. So I'm like, all right, if I pick up dinner, you pick up the wine. That first of all, that I think should already be even. Unless I'm cooking you like a lobster dinner. Like
Yeah.
we could call it even. Or just like you get the wine this time, I'll get it next time. Like this whole system of Venmoing for glasses of wine is like a bit much.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess what I struggle with is I don't think you should be mad at anyone for asking for equal, because sometimes if you're poor, every dollar counts. So I don't think
I just think this whole system is like creating nightmares.
Well, I don't have a problem with the girl saying, hey, everyone needs to pay me $5. I do have a problem with her not making an exception given the greater context. That's my point. Like,
Yeah.
because, see, I struggle with this, Sarah, because when I go out with people sometimes, I'm the only one who's not drinking, and drinking will easily inflate the bill by 30%.
Yeah,
40%.
but then you don't split that shit equally. Like,
Exactly.
that's horrible.
Well, some people call me an asshole for wanting to split it equally.
Wait, for not
Sorry,
wanting.
for not wanting to split it equally, because I'm
No.
like, yo, I didn't drink at all, and like that legitimately is like a lot. Like,
Yeah, you're adding like probably at least $10 per drink per person.
exactly.
That's insane.
So now I'm getting. I have to pay
your friends
$10,
are cheap assholes.
right?
Yeah.
So like. So I don't know. I guess, and I'm trying to think like if I only had $10, and then it's like, well, shit, you guys better pay me back for the wine.
No, yeah. I don't know, but it's like
I'm feeling everyone sucks here. I really am. I'm really leaning that way. Top FB comment, Elisa L says, NTA, you're entitled to your feelings. I also don't know why people have such a hard time talking to their friends. I'd be like, bitch, didn't I just buy this whole bottle? And I can say the B word. I was quoting Sarah.
That's
Don't look at
fine.
me
Yeah,
that way.
I would literally say that to my friend.
Yeah, I think it could have just been called out there. This doesn't need to be nuclear, but it's rude. It's rude.
Right.
They're both rude people.
I'm kind of going for like, I don't know if I want to go no assholes here or do I want to go with I don't know what I want to do.
That's kind of true too. No one actually. Well, wait. Did she just say these are just feeling? Yeah, she's just annoyed.
Yeah.
I could go no assholes here.
But I do think it is kind of wrong to like probably charge your friend for wine that they probably bought you.
Yeah, it's like weird. But like, what if she really doesn't have any money? Like, if this is such a nice thing to buy her a wine.
If she doesn't have money, then like that just basically means that I lent you $15 and you're asking me for $5 more.
Yeah. Well, it's not lending; it's giving.
So fine. That's what that is then.
I don't know. Like, look, I think I just said this.
And you're not wrong for not having money, but you are wrong if that is what happened and you are doing it in this roundabout manner.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay, but what about like it's hard to be broke.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were broke?
I mean, like a while ago, like not that long ago in recent memory. So,
but like, I don't know. I just look when I feel not that I've been like totally zero broke, but I've definitely felt like, oh wow, I'm like I almost have no money.
Yes, but then the solution is not what I think that OP thinks is happening here is to then try to make money off your friends.
They're not making money.
They're making $5.
But she gave her a gift. Like that's what I'm trying to say is that it matters how much money people have. Like I don't know why we try to act like it doesn't matter.
No. So if I give you $15, you spend that $15 on wine. You spent zero money. Then if you're going to turn around to come and ask me for $5, then you're like asking me for $5 basically that you didn't spend.
Well, I did spend it. I spent the $15 you gave me.
Oh my God, what are you not understanding?
I'm reselling you the wine.
Exactly, you're reselling it.
I guess.
You're trying to make a profit off your friends on money that you didn't spend.
Well, there's no profit. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, you're making $5.
I'm gonna mark it up. I'm not marking it up.
You're making $5 that you didn't spend. Do you understand?
Yeah, I guess, but I guess what I'm trying to say is if you're broke, like having a bottle of wine with your friends is nice. Like maybe you need to do a nice thing and have a nice night, and isn't that what you were trying to pay for? Well,
that is what the person paid for,
and
then to make them pay again. That's not how you ask your friends for money.
They're not paying again, though. It's a gift. Like I'm just trying to say,
theoretically, this person would have charged for something that they got for free.
What if they already had the bottle of wine?
Yeah. I mean, then that's bad too.
Why? Then it's
because
not.
You should ask your friends for money and not like lie to try to get $5 out of them.
No, there's no lying, Sarah. Let's imagine the girl that the girl was sitting there at home.
Yes.
Her friend said, "I'm going to Venmo you for a bottle of wine."
Okay.
She already had a full bottle of wine. She didn't want to drink that night.
Okay.
But she had the bottle sitting there on her shelf next to her cat. The next day, the girls come over and she says, "Hey, you guys want to pay $5 each for the wine?" What if she is that poor? That's what I'm kind of getting at here.
You're kind of getting at that, but I'm also like, but that's just lying then. The reason that they're Venmoing, Danny, each other each $5 for the wine is because somebody gets the dinner, somebody buys the wine. They all chip in for the cost of the wine. So they're paying their share for the wine. You can't pay your share of something that is free.
Wait, now I'm getting really confused. So you're saying my friend texted a group chat of three of us asking for $5 from each of us for the wine.
We do this all the time where one of us takes care of dinner and one picks up the wine and then you add it all up and
then
you
we
divide
all pay
it.
whatever is owed.
Yeah.
But it
so
felt,
if you
yes,
already
it
had
felt like I gave her a bottle of wine. Yeah, it did feel like that, but that's not what happened. She had to go and buy the wine. Or she didn't have it, or she already had the wine. You gave her the $15.
You're giving two different situations because, like, if I already had, like, let's say my mom gave me a bottle of wine, and then I turn around and be like, this wine is worth $5. Like, that's not what's happening here. That's what you were saying was happening.
I'm just saying, if someone is so poor they're trying to scrape $5 off you, maybe take a second and be like, look, do I need to get all huffy about this and have a thing? Maybe it's like, maybe just give her the $5.
Yeah, sure. Give her the $5 and be nice. But it's also like, why are you being like sneaky in your scenario where you already had the wine at home? In this scenario, it's iffy because we don't know what she did with the money. So it's fine. Like, just pay the $5.
If she's so poor, she's trying to fleece you for what's ultimately fair. I view it as ultimately fair. Then, you know, you gave her the $15. That was a separate transaction. That was a gift.
Okay.
That's how I see this. It's like,
I
why?
think it's like a little sketchy and like it's just iffy, I think.
I'm like, look, who like fucking Venmo them? You know, it doesn't mean.
I mean,
it's
I'm sure this
$5.
person will just Venmo them, but yeah, they're just saying it's the principle.
In order for a $15 gift to be nice, you have to not have a lot of money. That's what I'm trying to say.
How much
like,
do you spend on wine? I think $15 is like a solidly good bottle.
No fucking idea.
$15 is like
costs.
a solidly good bottle. Like I
Really?
say 12 is what I do. 15 is fine.
Oh, I guess I'm thinking about a restaurant where wine's like $40.
No, you go to
Okay.
liquor store, spending $15 is like totally solid.
Okay, look, I'm not going to sit here and say I know how much wine costs or milk or any of these things, but I just feel like there is a time to live and let live, and it's like, you're really going to double down on this? And
No, I just think it's a weird situation overall.
Page V writes, you would be the asshole if you make a big deal out of it. That's actually a great way to put it. And kind of YTA for feeling the way you do about it, too. These are two different situations. You gave your friend money to buy herself a bottle of wine to enjoy. That doesn't mean she's obligated to use that same bottle, the money, to split with roommate or anyone else for an unrelated hangout. Your intention was for her to have it to cheer her up after that shitty day. You said it yourself. Within your group, it's normal to pay the buyer back for wine. Why is this time any different? Damn, I'm loving Paige. To me, it sounds like you're holding your gift against her and expected to be treated specially because you did something nice the day before. If that's the case, YTA, damn, I love Paige. Sarah, I think that's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, that is a good point. I guess I'm just like thinking like I would be kind of salty if like I know I got you a bottle of wine and then the next day per our usual tradition you were like, hey, can you Venmo me for a glass of the wine? Like I would be salty for sure.
I agree. And that's what I'm trying to say is that I would try to look a little deeper and think like, why would she be so petty about this?
Yeah.
Because any normal person would have the thought, like, of course, I'm not going to charge you.
I know.
You just
That's what you were
gave me
saying in
it.
the beginning,
Of
which I
course.
agree.
Lindsay
okay,
Ann
yeah.
writes, YTA, they're two separate things. One's a gift. Yeah, it's pretty much the same comment. There's a common occurrence. When you gave her $15 to cheer her up, that was a nice thing to do, but she was under no obligation to use the money for the wine.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's true. It's like she could have done whatever with it. The timing of it is like to me suspect. Because I'm like, did you really buy yourself a bottle of wine, drink it, then buy a new bottle of wine the next day? And
Yeah.
if so, cool. If not, like, you should they should just let it slide and not charge the $5 that one time since it's like you kind of technically bought this for me.
Yes. Okay, so I
Wait,
think
maybe I could go ESH?
you're going to go ESH?
Yeah,
Why?
everyone's being petty right now.
I'm
What are you saying?
I guess I liked how Paige said you would be the asshole if you make a big deal
If you make a
out of
big
it.
deal about it. But is she the asshole for feeling like salty and
No, I
suspect?
think it's very normal to feel
No.
salty. Sometimes you gotta put that shit away though and be like, look, does this really matter? You know, people think that just because you have just because you have a feeling doesn't mean it's valid. You have to calculate and be like, okay, how long is this feeling going to last? Like, I do this to myself all the time now, and I never had this thought before, but I'm like, I'll be in this feeling, and I'm like, all right, I can think about this problem or whatever the fuck it is that's bothering me, but I'm like, probably I can just go to sleep and this won't matter anymore. And that is true like 99% of the time. You
That's
do
true.
an old
Yeah, but does that
reset.
mean that your feeling is not like correct? We're judging who's right here.
I'm saying, yeah. I think it's like sometimes if you have a feeling, you should pay attention to it. You should always pay attention to your feeling, and then you should be like, what is this feeling made of, right?
Okay, yeah.
What, like, how meaningful is this feeling? Is this a big emotion? Was this a big reaction? Like, where did this come from? Or was this just a slight, right? Was this just a slight that could easily be buried under?
I mean, you could say that of both sides.
Well, like, if this, like, I'm just saying, like, this is one incident. Sometimes one incident is part of a pattern. And if it's part of a pattern, then you go, oh, I've had this feeling before.
Yes.
This is a thing, and so Sydney sucks, and I'm never Venmoing her $15 for wine again.
Right.
But if it's not, then it might be the kind of thing where it's like, look, I feel a little slighted right now, but there's no reason to bring it up because it's going to be a whole thing, and Cindy doesn't have any money, and that's why I bought her the wine anyway. So
yeah,
maybe
I mean,
should
it's
just
like
sleep on
I would
it.
eat the $5, not make a huge deal about it. But is anyone like? But who's wrong in this situation?
Who's wrong? I think no one's wrong. I think that she should give her the $5 and not do anything. I say it's no assholes here. I think that it is rude and a little bit shocking that she would ask, but she's technically right, and I feel like she must be tight on money. This girl just sent her money,
Right. Okay.
so like that's how I read this. If she's
I
if
could
she's
go
rich,
no
if
assholes
she's
here.
filthy rich, like if she's not struggling at all, then she's definitely the asshole. But I feel like all
Yeah.
the evidence says that.
I'm literally, it's crazy because I'm honestly kind of torn between no assholes and everyone sucks because everyone is just being like a small degree of pettiness. So it's like, which way do I want to tip that scale?
No, I can't go everyone sucks because you know what? The girl who's annoyed hasn't done anything that I have a problem with. I think she absolutely should be annoyed. I would be annoyed.
Oh yeah, I would be definitely annoyed.
So I think it's just like, is this a thing that she needs to be confrontational about? And I don't think it is. I think this is a drop it.
All right, yeah, I think it's a little too ambiguous to know if the friend who's Venmoing the $5, Jesus, too much money. I think it's a little too ambiguous to know if the friend is like being weird. We
Yeah.
don't, so because it was a Venmo and not like I bought you this $15 bottle of wine.
Right.
If that were the case, it would be clear cut. Okay, this time I don't know enough. I'm gonna go no assholes here.
No assholes here. I concur.
Fine.
I did want to say one thing because this just happened to me, and I think it's so funny. I have a friend, and she works in a prestigious role, and she's, she makes a fair chunk of change,
Oh, okay.
And I left for old Europe over there, and
Old Europe.
she asked to borrow my unlimited Metro card. I was like, of course.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. Yeah, duh. You're not using it.
Yeah, of course. And then my girlfriend forgot to return it to me. She was acting as a carrier.
Okay.
She started,
too much
I'm
already.
so sorry. She's like texting me, I'm sorry. And I was like, in what world would someone who, like, why would I be mad? That cost me like $5.
Your unlimited Metro card?
Well, because I had to because I didn't have my unlimited, so I had to use it.
Okay.
Like, I get.
Wait, why did someone borrow your Metro card? I'm
because
unclear now.
she wanted to save money.
$1?
Well, how much has he tried? $275.
But like, why didn't she buy her own? I'm confused.
She doesn't have an unlimited. Not everyone has an unlimited.
No. I thought you said she wanted to borrow your unlimited. No, she wanted to borrow your
borrowed
Metro card.
My unlimited Metro card.
Okay.
So that she could swipe
Yes.
and save $275 a ride.
Yes, that's a good
But
bit
the
of money.
problem is it wasn't returned to me at the right
Yes.
time, so then I got zapped.
Oh, so then you had to pay like out
for
of pocket
2
for
rides
the rides.
out of pocket.
Oh, okay. So what's the story?
Well, the moral of the story is, it's like, what? I'm gonna be mad at my girlfriend because I lost $5? It's like, no, that's a sleep on it, folks.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
like,
if this
what?
was your friend would do the nice thing and Venmo you for it. But this is your girlfriend, so who the fuck cares? No, Danny, I'm sorry. I meant that in a nicer way. I just mean that he'll make it up to you in other ways and it'll even out.
Right. That's a good way to put it. That's another good thing to think about. Like, will this probably even out? Like, maybe they're just having a slight bad streak of being petty or cheap,
Yep.
Well, guys, it was
Buy your
juicy.
friends wine. I feel like that's the moral. Just don't Venmo people for gifts that you want them to use in a certain way.
Yeah, I like that. I like that we should have morals. The morals of this episode are please don't cheat on your wife
Yeah.
repeatedly, and then tell Prudy she's got bigger.
Yeah, she got loose lips.
She's got loose lips. Don't get mad about $5. And what's the other thing? Oh, and don't weaponize a confidance.
Yes, good one.
Guys, please rate, review, and subscribe. Give us the old 5 stars on iTunes. We
Join
love that.
the Patreon. It's a fun time. You get 2 more episodes a month. Or
Yes.
just every other week, however that shakes out. I don't know.
Patreon.com/AITA pod. Also, I've been populating our YouTube clips channel. I don't know if you want to look for specific situations or something. Could be a interesting way to consume the pod.
If you want to watch me react to the crazy shit that Danny says, I have a camera that I can look to like Jim.
Oh
from
yeah,
The
we're
Office.
starting videos now, so this will be a video.
Woo!
Cool. Yeah, you can check that out. All our links are at aitapod.com. Thanks so much, and thanks for submitting. By the way, $5 girl, and you know what? I'll buy you a wine if you come see me. I'll buy.
Yeah, and
you
we
a
won't
wine.
charge you for it.
There you go. All right, we'll see you next Monday morning.